So my last video wasn't that great in some ways. My lens on both my vlogging camera and my DSLR were dirty and it totally obscured my view of my images and the footage that I managed to create for that vlog. But the location was stunning and I have not been able to stop thinking about it. And tonight the temperature in Mintlaw, where that loch is, or that lake should I say, is meant to get as low as -4 degrees. And the weather tomorrow is looking stunning. We've got cloudy spells but with plenty of sunshine too. So my plan is to get up early tomorrow morning and head back to that location with clean camera gear, and hopefully the freezing conditions will allow me to create some awesome, icy, misty, magical winter images in the beautiful Aberdeen countryside. So good morning and welcome back to Pitfour Lake in the Aberdeenshire countryside. It is freezing this morning, it's -5 degrees. I cannot remember the last time I was out in temperatures this low. But because it's not windy and it's so still, it is beautiful. We've got some nice ice on the loch, not completely frozen over, but it's nice anyway. And we've got a lovely frost on the ground. It's about 40 minutes until the sunrise. I'm just gonna go and look around here, try and work out where the best places to take photos are, and get my camera out and get shooting. While I'm speaking to you right now, I'm seeing in the distance, there's this lovely tree, and then there's a church on the hillside with some sheep in the field. This would be a beautiful place to come back to once the sun has risen. I've only just arrived and I've already found a beautiful composition. I'm the only car in the car park, the only person out enjoying this morning. And what a beautiful way to start another day. I can't get over how still it is this morning. There's not even the slightest breeze in the air. You can hear every tiny little bit of wildlife moving around you, and everything just seems so calm and serene. I've had birds coming right up to me as I've been walking around the path. I can hear a little bird just now foraging in the grass beside me, right beside the lake. The crisp frost just breaking as its beak's hitting it. You don't hear this very often. There's always some breeze or some noise going around, and apart from the distant sound of cars on the nearby road in the distance, there's nothing else. I'm quite excited for when the sun rises and I can start to hear the cracking of the ice and the melting of the frost. We also have some hooper swans over here where the mute swans were in the last video. It's one of the great things about the winter is the sound of hooper swans and geese. It's so beautiful. Getting out this early in the morning to experience this firsthand, it's something not many of us do very often. But my goodness, it's such a good way to start your day. And we should try and do this whenever we can. So first image of the day. I think I've left this slightly too late because the sky is now becoming quite bright. But as I was walking along, I discovered these two trees here. And right between these two trees we have got a new moon. It is really small. One of the thinnest moons I think I've ever seen. But these trees act as a frame, framing the moon in the middle of it. I'm struggling to get the composition that I'm seeing to my eye, but it's really, really nice and I really, really like it. So we're going to see exactly what it looks like on camera and take it from there. So I'm actually, for the first time ever, using an L-braket, which was kindly sent to me by a viewer back at the end of the spring last year, and I've only just got round to using it. I never realised how easy it was going to be to put it onto my tripod. It's revolutionary and I cannot believe I've never done it yet. It's amazing. Totally transforms my portrait images, makes it so much easier. So I just want to say a huge thank you to, I'm sorry I've forgotten your name, but I'll put it here, for sending me the L-braket. I think you're going to transform my photography dramatically in 2019 and make portraits so much easier. So I'm just admiring these reeds here. They look stunning with the crisp frost on them. Unfortunately the background behind them is very messy, a lot of trees and stuff. I really wanted a plain, nice background. But I'm going to keep walking around this lake and see whether we're going to get some better reeds and some better image opportunities further round. But it's amazing how much the frost can transform something, and we're starting to get some really nice pinky purple hues around the sky, sort of enclosing the loch in this beautiful light. There's honestly so much to photograph here this morning. I'm spoilt for choice and I'm really struggling to make decisions, but because there's so much to photograph I want to try and get really good images rather than just trying to shoot whatever I see. And I also don't want to be taking so many images that I don't have the time to enjoy this, because stepping back from the camera and spending 5-10 minutes just listening to nature, embracing the cold and admiring the crispness around me. That's what the photography is about really. It's not really all about the images, it's about getting out there and seeing the world in a new light, in a new way. I'm so glad I got up this morning because this is phenomenal. So beautiful. So one thing I was hoping this morning was to get a fine art style image of the ice on the lake, but I'm just finding that a lot of the compositions that I could take are quite messy. The ice isn't formed in a really nice crisp layer, it's formed in chunks and it's sort of dispersed all over the lake, and it's not forming any nice patterns as I would have hoped that it would. And I'm trying to find some puddles of stagnant water that will be frozen the whole way through, but we haven't had rain really for a few days now, so I'm not managing to find that. 2 hooper swans have just flown in and landed on the lake. It's so beautiful to see these things and to think And to think that I wouldn't have been witnessing them if I hadn't have got up early this morning with the intention of taking photographs. I've seen a few YouTubers and photographers saying this recently, that it's not all about the images or the photography, and I've advocated this since the start. You would not be in that location and out early in the morning enjoying this if you didn't do photography. And it's so nice that a hobby and an interest can bring all these beautiful parts of nature together. And even if you do go home with no images, which hopefully this morning won't be the case, but even if you do, you've still had a great experience and you've still got out there because of your camera. Quite like this frozen bit here in this puddle with the rock in the centre, but I'm noticing that the sun is beginning to rise and we're starting to get some nice orange glows. So I'm going to go back to that original location that I found at the start of this video with the big tree in the middle of the field with the sheep and the church in the distance, because I think it would be a great image if the light is right, and because we've got that frost in the field this morning, if the sun comes up and it's as beautiful as I hope it will be, and we get the light that I hope we will get, it'll make a stunning image. But I won't know unless I go back and do it, and I feel like it would be such a beautiful image that I need to forget about that one back there and go and attempt it, because if I don't attempt it I'm never going to know, and I'm going to be wondering about it for the rest of the week. If I have time though, I may go back there afterwards and attempt to get that image that I've just seen. I'm really spoilt for choice this morning. I knew this location would be good in the morning, I knew it would be good in icy conditions, and it's so nice when you think that and then you actually come and enjoy it at the times of day that you hoped you would, and it's just as beautiful as you'd imagined. I didn't want there to be any rushing this morning, but one thing I never realised when I saw this beautiful composition earlier was that there's a wire fence going across the field, which is obscuring my, or messing up my composition from the site that I saw it this morning. But there is a path at the other side which I'm now on, which I'm hoping will get rid of that fence, basically allow me to get the image that I've pictured in my head. The sun is starting to rise now, so we're getting some nice orange colours on the landscape behind me, so I just hope that they're still going to be there, or going to be even better by the time I get to my chosen spot for this image. Oh, landscape photography is never easy, and you've often got to run around or move from place to place to try and get your chosen image. I just hope that all this is going to be worth it in the end. Right, we've arrived. This is the fence that I was on about, an electric fence to keep the sheep in. I don't think it's as nice as it was at the opposite side of this lake stream here, but at least I won't have this in the image if I take an image from here. The church is starting to get some beautiful light on it now, so I'm going to get my gear out and get this photo before the light disappears. I can't see. Glasses and sub-zero temperatures do not go well together. Right, I've got myself set up, no filters, although I may have to put a soft edge neutral density filter in if this image doesn't work, just because the sky is a little bit brighter than the foreground, but it's mostly on the horizon that it's brighter, not the whole sky. The light's still improving. I'm going to take a few images and see which one's the best. But look at this. Stunning location, somewhere different really. I don't do much countryside photography, it's mostly coastal or up in nice lochs. Obviously this is a lake, but it's a lake in the countryside, and it's beautiful, and it's nice to try different things and shoot in different locations. It's something I'd love to do more of actually. And who knows, maybe it's something I'll do regularly in 2019. It's a new year after all, time to try new things. So I'm not convinced that this image is as nice as I thought it was going to be, but I'm watching the light come onto the land now, but the more light that comes onto the land, the less intense it's becoming. But I'm going to sit it out here until the whole fields are flooded with the orange light, and just to see if that's going to make it pop that little bit more. It's all about patience, and this morning's a tranquil, beautiful morning, so I want to portray that in my images. You've got to allow the landscape, the weather and the conditions to influence what your images look like, because if you can portray how you feel and how the landscape is making you feel in that moment, your images are going to be better, because it's going to portray that natural feel, that natural beauty and that natural tranquility, which I've got this morning right in front of me. Another thing I would have loved would be if the sheep would come from the far field to more around the tree. I think it would have added more character to the image, and there was a few sheep dotted around when I walked past this morning, which made the image better. But obviously you can't control these things, so you've just got to photograph what is around you and what you see. Maybe you could argue that I should have taken that image this morning when I saw it, but there wasn't any light, and you know, I might have got a reasonable image, but it was still kind of golden hour, and this is the light that you want for this type of image, because you want to show the contrast, and you also want the image to look 3D and look normal and natural and not necessarily flat. But it's difficult in photography to know when sometimes the right time to take the image is. You never know, some of these sheep might come back over in the next 10 minutes, but I'm just not sure if the light's going to get any better. So I'm beginning to think that we've probably got the best image that we're going to get this morning. What I would really have liked would have been for the sun to have risen higher and to have cast a shadow where the tree is onto the frozen field. I think it would have looked beautiful, but it is one of the shortest days of the year still, and I don't think the sun is going to rise high enough to allow that light to cast on the tree and to cause that shadow. It's just that time of year, but it's still a beautiful morning. I'm still going to show you the images, and it's just been so nice to get out. And the message that I would like to portray to you in this video is the idea of just get out and enjoy it, especially at this time of year, because the sunrise is so late. You don't have to get up too early to get out and enjoy this. And I actually bumped into a lady that was walking her dog this morning who caught me vlogging, very embarrassingly, but you know, I said to her, so many people miss this time of day, and she said, I know, and it's the most beautiful time of day. And she's right. This is the most beautiful time of day. Watching nature and the world wake up around you, it's just stunning. And to see what the night has left behind while we sleep, there is no other better time of day, there really isn't. So before we say goodbye, I just want to say thank you all again for watching. I really appreciate it. Let's make 2019 a year of learning, a year of adventure, and I can't wait to share it with as many of you as possible. I'll see you all again next time.